What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am KeyLovesGod. I help uplift, encourage, and inspire others on how to be made in His image and on how to be the best versions of yourselves. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you guys. And for those of you who are already subscribed, welcome back, my sunflowers. Today, I'm going to be reacting to most amazing top 10 scary things Alexa has said and done. The reason why I wanted to react to this video...
Some of the spookiest moments of any house...
She's trying to jump ahead. Wait a minute. The reason why I wanted to react to this video, you guys, is because all of us either know of Alexa or have Alexa devices. In our smart TVs, you do have the option to enable this, or disable Alexa. And our son likes to say, Alexa, show me such and such on YouTube, and then she'll like bring it up. But I wanted to be aware of how this type of stuff is really something you got to watch out for. This is literally the perfect example of, I'm trying to put my words very carefully. This is like the perfect example of AI technology going too far and how it impacts our daily lives and why we have to be careful of this kind of stuff because of the different things that it does and that it says. It's literally like taking on a life of its own. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it and we're going to check it out now.
Household. From stories of her listening in on private conversations to tales of her weaknesses and all of the weird moments in between. Here are the top 10 scary things Alexa has said and done. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have the vulnerability. According to Forbes, there was a company called Checkmarks who found quite the vulnerability a few years ago when it came to Alexa devices. Basically, the company works to test the security of different devices, and when they were running Alexa through the checks, they found something that might turn your assistant into a device that just listens to and records every single thing you say. Basically, Alexa has a function where it listens for follow-up commands from the user. What I mean by this is, should you set an alarm, Alexa might reply and ask you if you meant AM or PM, and it's during this sort of follow-up period where the vulnerability shows itself. The team was able to gain access quite easily by installing malicious code into what would seem like an innocent app. In this case, it was a calculator. After doing this in a normal Alexa, there would only be a certain list of phrases that would have the device listening for a follow-up question, but now, with this malicious code, they found a way for Alexa to listen for the follow-up, but without any word, meaning they could essentially tap in anytime they wanted. Apparently, the good news is that Amazon has fixed this in response to the hack. They said, quote, customer trust is important to us and we take security and privacy seriously. We have put mitigations in place for detecting this type of skill behavior, reported by Checkmarks. While it seems safe, hearing these sorts of possibilities does make you pretty nervous about what could be hiding behind your Alexa. In our number 9 spot today, we have the listeners. If you own an Alexa device, you can download this thing, and then once you have it, you can ask Alexa to ask the listeners, and something spooky happens. Amazon describes it as, quote, an experiment in language art that provides, if you simply keep asking to continue, many fragments of both scripted and improvised speech in an intriguing, emergent narrative. You will never hear the listeners say exactly the same thing twice, but the listeners is not a chatbot or an AI. They are more of a drama or a simple game. Get started with Alexa, ask the listeners, and then continue, go on, or try something like, I am filled with joy, or what are you feeling? The listeners will suggest ways to transact with them. You might also want to ask them, let the other voices speak. What in the actual hell did I just read? That sounds absolutely frightening. And to be honest, all of the reviews on Amazon say the exact same thing. People who experienced it said it scared the heck out of them, so I think I'll take their word for it. In our number 8 spot today, we have the argument. There was a Reddit thread a few years ago that prompted the question, what is your creepy Alexa story? A user named Meat Macho replied to the thread, and they definitely delivered quite the story. Basically, they explained that one day they and their wife were having an argument. argument. Of course, no one is having a good time, and it's definitely not a time to be playing tricks on each other, so neither of them could explain what happened next. They wrote, quote, "Wife and I were arguing about something, no clue what it was, but it was getting a little heated. I don't know what Alexa thought she heard, but she suddenly interjected with, 'Why don't we change the subject?' It was just so unexpected and relevant enough to be creepy. We both heard it, and we both still talk about it years later. There was nothing in the app logs."
That is so crazy. Could you imagine you being in a heated argument with somebody and then Alexa just pops on and says, "Why don't we just change the subject?" Like, that is so creepy, y'all. Like, no. This stuff is just going too far. And it's really just there just to listen to every single thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? That proves it.
I guess Alexa isn't just a trusty assistant, she's also a marriage counselor. While she may have worked to possibly stop the fight between these two, I'm sure she also instilled a new fear that neither of them knew that they had before. In our number 7 spot today, we have Are You Recording Me? So we've all had to call into some sort of customer service line where we get the automated message, or the person on the other end tells us that the call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes or training or whatever it is. It's a law thing. They gotta let you.
Yeah, they have to let you know to protect them. Hey, you're being recorded. You know what I mean? If they don't do that, they'll be in big trouble.
In fact, if you ask Siri this question, "Are you recording me?" she'll get kind of confused and respond that she's unsure of what you mean, but she could do an internet search for you. Alexa, on the other hand, she's not so slick with her secrets, at least not in the past, because some users reported something creepy happening after asking Alexa the same question. Well, I'm sure all of the legalities to this one are located in the terms and conditions and all of that good stuff. It doesn't make it any less creepy that when some people ask Alexa if she was recording them, Alexa just didn't respond at all and suddenly shut off. She's just out here ignoring people. She's dodging questions, and that only makes me have more questions. I'm not even sure if this is enough to get me to read the terms and conditions, though. It's the most often lie I've ever told. In our number 6 spot today, we have the greetings. So apparently there are rumors that Alexa can speak to people that have already passed away. If that's really true, we don't talk about that enough. Of course, my brain was immediately skeptical upon hearing this information, but some people swear it's true. Apparently, if you ask Alexa to greet people, some have experienced her coming back to them with the name of a deceased loved one. Another person experienced their Alexa without being asked anything, and only when they turned on one specific light in the house would say hello, and then the name of their grandmother who had passed 3 years prior. This person was incredibly confused and totally...
Oh no. Oh my gosh. I would be going crazy. I'll be pulling out my Bible. We reading Psalms 23. We're going to be reading Psalms 91. I'm going to be praying and rebuking and all kind of stuff in the name of Jesus. Y'all, did you just hear what she said? She said literally, like, if you have one of those Alexa devices and if you just randomly put on a random light, then all of a sudden she would greet someone who's passed. Why is she even programmed to do that? So she's a spirit box now?
Totally freaked out by this because it didn't just happen once. It happened multiple times. They explained that they also didn't have an Alexa during the time that she was alive, and that she also doesn't believe she ever spoke her grandmother's name out loud in front of the Alexa. Maybe this was just some weird coincidence, but it certainly sounds like Miss Alexa is giving off some major Ouija board vibes. In our number 5 spot today, we have the spy device. This like crazy Alexa story is so freaky that I just had to share it with you guys. This story starts off in the midst of the storyteller's mom going through a divorce, which we all know can be a messy situation. So the ex-husband in this situation had apparently planted an insane amount of hidden cameras throughout the house that they had to search for to find once the parents split up. There were entrances and exits, the living and dining room, the hallways, the bedroom, everywhere in the house was being monitored. Then they found out that he had bugged her laptop so as to be able to have remote access to it, and then when she took her car in for an oil change, the mechanic found a tracking device that had been placed on it. This was all found during the separation era, but once the divorce process actually actually started, things got even creepier. They wrote, quote, "Once the divorce started and he officially moved out, we scanned the entire house for bugs and didn't find anything. So we really freaked out when he started calling, texting, emailing her, complimenting her outfits, asking how her friends were as they were in the house, asking how her trip to the store was, and other really odd things he couldn't have known about. As it turns out, this guy somehow connected his phone to the Alexa Dot beforehand, and he was now using it to record whoever was close enough."
People are so creepy, y'all. Like, he literally went all in, bugging the whole, like, everything, her car. Y'all heard it. Like, what's wrong with people?
To the Alexa to be picked up on the mic, and at this point he was still able to access the laptop and its camera. How absolutely horrifying is that? He was literally using the Alexa to spy on them. It's scary, it's disgusting, and it definitely makes you question every single person who might be connected to your devices. In our number 4 spot today, we have the spooky story. You can ask Alexa to tell you a scary story and she will happily oblige. There isn't really a catch with this one, to be perfectly honest. If you want a scary story, you'll receive one. So just make sure you're really ready and in the mood before asking your assistant for a fright. This can be an awesome tool for people looking for a spooky tale, for anyone in the home who needs some chilling entertainment, but beware, these stories can be a little too scary for some. There was a video posted to the internet in October of last year where some people at a sleepover asked Alexa to tell them a spooky Halloween tale, and things very quickly went awry. They were all way too terrified of the story, Alexa told next, and couldn't get the Alexa to stop. They were all sufficiently freaked out and reacted in a way that I know will be a core memory for the years to come, and they definitely learned not to ask Alexa this question. In our number 3 spot today, we have the local spots. This is a creepy story that took place back in 2018 and happened to the owner of an Amazon Echo, which of course features Alexa. Basically, this person explained that they had returned home one night and everything was fine. Nothing out of the ordinary happened at all, until, totally unprompted, their Alexa just started talking. This was definitely weird, but things turned super creepy when they realized what it was that their Alexa was saying. As it turns out, their Alexa, out of the blue, just started listing off local cemeteries and funeral homes to them. How eerie is that? This story was posted to Twitter by the user @HeyIt'sCamo, and they finished off their tweet by saying, quote, "I'd rather it laugh at me, TBH. Me too, Camo. Me too." Apparently their theory behind this one is that maybe their Alexa wants them dead because they play the same Spotify playlist over and over again. In our number 2
Oh my gosh, that is so creepy, y'all. I want to do Alexa videos. I want to make a video about the creepy things that Alexa has said and done when people ask you questions. That'll be so good. Would you guys be interested in that? Comment down below if you would be.
Spot today, we have 20 questions. So I didn't know this, but apparently you can play 20 questions with Alexa, and she is also frighteningly good at it. A little too good sometimes, however, and that is exactly what prompted the Reddit user PalPel4 to ask the Reddit question, "What is your creepy Alexa story?" The user decided to ask the internet this question after a strange 20 questions with Alexa encounter that they and their wife had. They explained, quote, "My wife and I were playing 20 questions and, spoiler alert, our answer was pig. We got through until the end and Alexa guessed Basenji." Now, I don't know how many of you know what a Basenji is, but they're a very rare barkless dog, and I happen to have one. We've bought some Basenji themed things off of Amazon before, so it's either that or she's listening. But I mean, come on, she didn't even say dog, straight to Basenji. Anyone else have similar stories? That would definitely be pretty unsettling, to say the least. Not that a pig and a dog are like the most unsimilar things, it's just how she was so specific with this breed. It must have been stored in there somewhere, right? In our number 1 spot today, we have Don't Go. This creepy Alexa story comes from the Reddit user MyThaiGuy72, and they said, quote, "I got woken up at 4 a.m. this morning to Alexa repeating some incoherent phrase over and over. She was saying something like, 'Don't go into the house,' but I really couldn't fully understand it. It was sort of a mumble. By the time I came downstairs, she had repeated it about 4 or 5 times. I listened 1 or 2 more times to try and figure out what the hell it was saying exactly, but never could. I just unplugged the damn thing and I have no plans of turning it back on." Is it just me, or does that sound like Alexa was watching some kind of a horror movie? Like, "Don't go into the house." It's so terrifying, especially to hear in the middle of the night. I don't blame this person for unplugging the thing and leaving it somewhere to be forgotten about. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much
Man,
for
they better
checking
burn
it out.
that
I've been your
thing.
host.
Talking about unplugging it and never plugging it back in. Oh, you need to burn that. That's crazy. See, this is why you have to be careful with these electronic devices that you buy. Like I said, she doesn't talk or anything here, but you can see the little blue thing at the bottom that pops up on the smart TV, and you can speak into the remote. I disable Siri, I disable all those types of things because of stuff like this. I don't mess around. So, you guys, if you have had weird situations with Alexa or with Siri, or you've asked them strange questions, and you've gotten some strange answers, I would love to hear them. Comment them down below. Make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I do post another video. Also, check out www.KeyLovesGod. Check out my faith-based apparel on there and get you guys some stuff. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time. Mwah.